Bloody Robbo. What are you doing? I tried to get you on as well. You finally woke up, you dickhead.
However, what if I told you that there never was a movie called Shazam and it never starred Sinbad?
With what looks like a fedora on his head. Yes, a gangster ghost.
Yes, I think the Patriots are in the henhouse, aren't they? The Foxes don't like that too much. The farmer is getting back into the White House. The farmer don't like foxes with little hens.
I do not consider myself to be a conspiracy theorist. I consider myself to be a Q researcher.
Because a coup d'etat took place that day. That's a changing of our government. And it wasn't done at the ballot box, it was done with a bullet.
Happy birthday to you.
All right. Ready to go? Hey, folks, welcome to the news episode for the Hypothepods for this week. There is a lot of bloody news to get to, so let's get cracking. Robbo, item number one, someone saw a black cat in the Grampians. It's not unusual.
Someone, that's it.
There's lots of cats around.
Yeah, big one.
There's a cat that lives near my house that we call Mr. Jingle Jangles.
Yeah, you've mentioned Mr. Jingle Jangles.
We saw him the other day right up the end of the street. And then yesterday I saw him outside my house when I was leaving for work. And his collar was gone. He wasn't jingling.
You've told this story before. Is this the second time this has happened?
This is the second time he's gotten his collar off.
Robbo was calling you out then for fucking repeating stories. He was calling you out as bullshitting just then.
Yeah.
What?
No, I seen him the other day, right?
Yeah.
He come up to me missus and he stood up on his hind legs and he was like pouring at her to come give him a scritch.
He's going to whisper, "Leave Cam. Leave him for me."
But we could see when he did that his collar was quite frayed, so he's been working on it. He's working on his escape plan.
I never pictured Mr. Jingle Jangles as a black cat.
He's tawny, I guess.
Tawny is brown.
He's a black and tawny cat. This black cat in the Grampians?
Yeah, someone saw one.
Okay,
Big
great.
giant cat.
Good bit of news.
Hey, you know what?
That's the kind of thing we talk about on the show.
You know that Janet Jackson song, Black
Cam,
Cat?
yeah.
Fucking banger.
I don't know. I'll have to
It's pretty good.
Cam,
banger.
Cam tells us a story about
No, have you heard about this banger by Janet Jackson?
I'm gonna listen to it for sure.
It's a banger.
Cam tells us dumbass story about some cat that, I don't know, walked past his house once.
And
then I bring up relevant news to their show. And you're like, oh, this is not relevant.
It's not dumbass news.
Your cat isn't even
It's not my
black.
cat. It's Mr.
Not
Jingle
even
Jangles.
black.
And there's another cat who's Ginger, who's Mr. Grumpy Cat. And he's
Why are we talking about cats in your neighbourhood?
he's much less friendly.
What's next?
QAnon and Patton Oswalt had a falling out.
Yeah. So Patton Oswalt, who has been the target of 4chan, I don't know if it was Pizzagate or whatever related. It was when his wife died, and then he started a new relationship, and people started he was harassed a lot on social media about it. QAnon put up a picture of a fake tweet of Patton Oswalt with a kid in the background, and he's saying, "Here I am at."
He says, went on a hunt and I caught this tasty morsel. Booyah at Comet Ping Pong.
Yeah. Completely faked. And then QAnon picked it up and said, oh, they're hiding in plain sight or some garbage like that.
It's just some photo he's posted with his kid though, right?
Yeah.
Is this the real? Oh, so there's the real tweet. I would have believed it if he had posted that he was at Comet Ping Pong as a joke.
Yeah.
But people on 4chan got grumpy about it because QAnon posted it, right? The actual Q account?
Yeah.
People were like, this is fake. You're going to make QAnon look like we make stuff up. This is not something that this movement can afford to have happen, QAnon.
Yeah. But he replied something about think context.
You are on the right track. Example, video clippery paid to shill K brothers. Is that the Krasenstein brothers that we talked about?
Yeah, maybe.
Think context, think bigger picture, think connections, define map. The truth can always be found. Q.
So he got caught lying, and here we are.
Yeah. There's been a lot of social media platform news. There was a big article about Facebook and content moderation. Is that who put that out?
The Verge, I think.
The Verge. That is a really interesting read. It's about their US content moderators. So they do have content moderators all around the world. I know they have quite a few in the Philippines. And it's a tough gig, especially because they're often called on to make sort of...
Well, they're looking at the worst of the worst.
They are looking at the worst
Anything
of the
that gets
worst.
posted to Facebook that gets flagged, which includes murder and child porn and all sorts of shit.
They always cop it when they get things wrong. When someone like posts a death threat and they're like, "That's fine, that meets our community standards." You got to remember they're making a judgment in like a second.
Yeah. So
I'm saying that Facebook is very bad for allowing that to be the case.
Yeah. So they're basically treated like sweatshops where... it sounded like a call centre.
Yeah. Well, so they've got all of these sort of online cyber sweatshops in Southeast Asia where they're making calls on things, but there's heaps of things that they really need the American context to understand.
Yeah.
So they do have a whole bunch of weird call centers in the United States.
So like, all your time's really allocated. You have to log your minutes, and there's not much. Apparently there's not enough bathrooms and all that kind of stuff. But the interesting part of that, and not saying that's not interesting, it's horrific, but the interesting part is a lot of them end up getting pilled on conspiracy stuff. To the point where like some of them have become flat earthers because they're just sitting there looking at all this content. They're like, oh, wait a minute, maybe there's something to it.
They sort of made it sound like the flat earth person wasn't doing any work, that they've gone fully into just walking around talking about
flat earth. Yeah.
The other thing that I found interesting was that they get so many conflicting instructions because when like some news story breaks, they're not sure how to respond, and so someone will put out a memo saying, "Oh, block these ones," and then someone will put out another memo saying, "Oh no, let these ones through." Or you can do... It's sort of the weird thing about, you can have a nipple if it's this, but you can't have it if it's this. But they'd have weird conspiracy versions of that dilemma. But they also Facebook had their own tool for delivering this news, which relied on the same sort of cooked algorithms that we have to put up with on Facebook, where everything's out of order.
Yeah. So, and the videos need to be taken down versus not taken down. I think the distinction for a lot of those would be like if someone on Facebook called Jew Hater 69 puts up a Las Vegas video and says, "Oh, it's look at it. Here's the people dying." Take that down. But if the BBC puts up the same video, leave that up. And so it's that kind of, where does that line between, obviously, Jew haters, not someone you want on there, BBC, someone you are, someone who's a little bit ambiguous about their hating, where do you leave that?
They also had stuff like, if someone posted, "Oh, I hate men," that was like an instant down.
Right.
Men are a protected class, but then there would be groups of people who aren't protected classes, but you could say whatever you liked about them because there's no rule against it. They did bring in a rule where if someone was like, "I just broke up with my boyfriend, I hate men," they'd let that one through.
Okay, that's fair.
Tommy Robinson also booted off Facebook this week.
Oh, yeah.
For just being generally a hateful bloke. A few other sort of conservative figures booted off as well. Project Veritas also, the dodgy, spivvy video group, they go around and they take undercover footage of people and then cut it up a lot to prove points. They did an expose on the Facebook content moderators, which I think was to prove that bias against conservatives. One of the things that they had as proof of that was that there was a little button you could click that would deactivate how promoted a video was. And they're using this on conservatives. And what it actually was Facebook brought out live video and they wanted the live video obviously to be higher up on your feed so that any video that was live was promoted, and people worked that out. And so they started having their recorded videos and pushing them through the live video system. And so they worked out how to detect that. And so they've got a button to hit when one of those is there that knocks it back down to where it should be. And so I guess the reason that it seems there's a bias against conservatives is because they were the conmen who were trying to cheat the system most.
Yeah. That's the Donald Trump subreddit gets in trouble for that a lot. where they game the system actively to try and get their content to the highest and to troll everyone. And so then they get corrections added to that subreddit. It's like, okay, this subreddit, if anything happens there, this means X. Like, oh, they're picking on us. It's like, no, you know what you're doing.
There was also quite a bit of YouTube news this week. We'll hit these three, and then we'll move on to Twitter.
Yep.
There was another adpocalypse, which is the weird way that a lot of YouTube people frame it when there's some massive social problem on YouTube that YouTube solves by turning off ads.
Yep.
Seems like maybe we should be worried about the problem, less about the ads. But anyway,
Yep.
I'm not relying on YouTube money, I suppose, so I can say that. So someone discovered that there was a whole bunch of videos on YouTube of little kids, which is all just innocuous. It's like,
Kids exist in the world.
they do. We can't do anything about it for now. But like, there'd be people filming kids doing ballet class, doing gymnastics, doing all this stuff. Home videos are like, there would be billions of hours of this shit on YouTube. A bunch of pedos had gone to some effort to find all of these videos and like timestamp any moment where the kid was in any sort of position that they enjoyed. Mm-hmm. And so there's a whole bunch of videos on YouTube that have got all this timestamp stuff. Now, because of the way that the YouTube recommended video algorithm works, if you've got a bunch of people all watching the same videos, it starts recommending those videos to all of those people. And so this guy discovered this timestamp thing, and he discovered also that once you clicked on a few of them, and you could get onto these just by clicking through normal videos. I think he started with like a bikini unboxing video, and then all of the sidebar was like weird stuff. And he clicks on that, and soon you're getting recommended nothing but this stuff. And there's pedophiles, like, they're swapping the timestamps, but they're also swapping contact information and arranging stuff offline or off YouTube. But once you sort of went into this, you didn't get anything recommended to you but this stuff. Anyway, YouTube's solution, I think, was to turn off comments on like any video that had children in it. I've seen a few channels. There's a channel I like called the japanchannel.com. It's a Aussie guy living in Japan who films like karate stuff sometimes with kids. Yeah. And all of the comments on all of his videos have been turned off, which he's not too impressed about. But it's because they want to stop this thing. And also a bunch of advertisers pulled their money. Yeah. A bunch of YouTubers tried to get the guy that revealed this.
Okay.
They found that he had a YouTube channel where he'd done some like... Remember when like dumb, gross pranks was the big thing?
Yes.
He'd done one of those things. And they're like, oh, this guy's not so clean. He did like a dumb, gross, misogynistic prank channel.
Right.
It's like, all right. Well,
still not.
Doesn't really help the pedo thing.
Yeah.
Also on YouTube, the Ars Technica reports that the YouTube Kids thing that we've talked about. We talked about Elsagate and things. People found a whole bunch of videos that had made it through the YouTube Kids protection thing where they try and keep the weird shit out. Just like animation. But in the middle of it, a guy would walk onto the screen and tell kids how to slit their wrists properly. He walks out and says, sideways for attention, long ways for assaults. And then it cuts back to the cartoon.
Stuff like that is really weird to me.
Yeah.
Like, what is your motivation? You must be pretty damaged. If you are interested in doing something like that, maybe go speak to someone.
That's just trolling to get the attention, because no kid watching that knows what they're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
We know what they're talking about. The kids don't know. So it's just to cause an outrage. The other thing that came out, there's a website called Digital Social Contract who did some research. Someone did a report on alternative influence networks on YouTube, that is alt-right channels. I found there was about 80 main ones that posted a lot of alt-right stuff about feminism, SJWs, etc., etc. And it's that sort of thing where, you'd go onto YouTube and you'd be like, oh, how do I make a delicious passata to improve my bolognese? And then it's like, Would you like to become a Nazi?
Ben Shapiro owns Jews in some rant or something.
So this mob, she identified 80 channels that were like sort of the main providers of this content. This mob, Digital Social Contract, did a study. They sampled 3.6 million videos over the course of a month, and they found that about 7.8% of them, or 1 in every 13, were recommended after you watched a video.
Right.
You'd watch just a video about anything, and it would say, do you want to join the alt-right? YouTube has gone ahead and changed their recommendation algorithm, and they found that after February 15, the number of alt-right videos dropped to about 1 in 250 being recommended.
I'm still getting a few.
Yeah, so I'm mainly getting, because I stopped watching TikTok videos as my New Year's resolution, which I'm sticking by.
Cool. You're missing some good stuff.
Yeah, I feel like I'm 3 months behind on memes.
Yeah, you are. Definitely. I noticed that.
But I'm not behind on, I must have watched like a bank robbery scene from a movie. Now all of
Heat? Was it Heat? That's got a good bank robbery scene.
No, I did watch that the other day.
Because now he's been suggested all the other good ones.
All I get is it worked out. I want to watch bank robbery scenes from movies. And so now I'm watching all the great ones.
Yeah, that's good.
Getting some ideas. If the Patreon doesn't work out.
Point Break?
I've watched them all, mate.
Dog Day Afternoon? The whole thing's I've seen. You probably did watch the whole movie. I get a lot of rap videos and a lot of basketball highlights, which I am very happy about.
I'm going to see what my recs are right now.
What else is on the news? Well, Salty does that.
Holy shit, Dr. Phil was on Joe Rogan?
I think Jonesy was back on Rogan.
Right. Dr. Phil dissects Jussie Smollett's lying. I don't know who that is.
Jussie Smollett was...
on Empire?
Yeah. So was attacked, or allegedly attacked, and said it was some...
Politically.
Yeah, MAGA dudes who bloody threw bleach on him and used racial slurs.
Do you think fucking Dr. Phil blazes up with Rogan?
No, not at all. Not at all.
No?
And then it turns out he didn't do it, or he might not have done it. It's still ambiguous at the moment.
You
He
left
probably
out a
didn't do it.
sentence.
What did I say?
You left out the bit where he might have faked it.
He might have faked it, sorry, yeah.
So he says he was on that show Empire.
Right.
So he comes out and says that he was attacked by these MAGA guys and they poured bleach on him. Then it starts getting leaked from like the police department that he's done it himself and that he's paid a couple of like the extras from the show to do it. But then it's sort of ambiguous about whether that's what's actually happened, because one of the bits of evidence is apparently that he wrote them a check. It's like reason for check. Go buy bleach to fake a racial attack.
No, it was like personal training, right?
Whatever it is, you shouldn't use a check to do it.
No.
But maybe he's given them a check for personal training.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like, from what I see on Twitter, it's swung back around to maybe this famously racist police force hasn't quite gotten this one right.
Yeah, but the alt-right, the Jonesies of the world are just lapping it up saying, this is, look at this. Kind of, they're just the trash they normally do.
Who better to weigh in than Dr. Phil?
Yeah, you want to get Dr. Phil on this one.
So here's my first 10 recommended YouTube videos when I just open up YouTube. Dr. Phil dissecting thingy on Joe Rogan. European chainsaw speed carving champions.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
Slayer's Paul Bostaff plays his favourite drum parts. Steve Hughes talks about gays.
Right.
Guy makes a big ball out of plywood, which actually looks pretty cool.
Can you see that one?
Alex Jones goes off on Eddie Bravo. The Whammer Cyberpunk 2077 inspired build, which is like a prop cosplay building video.
Okay.
Jordan Peterson confronts Australian politician on gender. Ugh. German word quiz with Christopher Waltz on Jimmy Fallon. And wild polar bear tries to break in. Have you seen that video of the guy in a little glass cage?
Oh, I'd like to though.
And
the plywood one.
The fucking little look, he's like in this little glass thing.
Oh yeah.
And a polar bear just fucking starts smashing it. It's insanely fucking intense.
My top one, incidentally, Joe Rogan and Dr. Phil.
Right. My next one after that top 10 is Immigrant Song Live by the Cybertronic Band, who are all dressed up like Transformers.
That's pretty cool. That's very on brand for you. Yeah. You've seen it before, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Other bit of social media news, Jacob Wohl was thrown off Twitter. That's I was in a hipster cafe and I heard the libs talking about how much they love Trump guy.
Yeah.
He's also the guy that tried to set up Mueller.
Yeah.
Quite a bit came out about the Mueller setup stuff that led to him being thrown off Twitter.
Yeah.
USA Today interviewed him, and he did cop to making up all of the hipster cafe stuff.
Oh, really?
He's like,
finally, we know the truth.
He's like, oh, it's sort of like the opposite of what I hear in hipster cafes, but I do it to rile them up. It's like, yeah, no, we got it.
Yeah, exactly.
Wasn't really riling anyone. With the Mueller stuff, where he had come out, well, firstly, he'd set up this sort of elaborate house of mirrors where there were all these emails going around and tricking journalists into thinking that there was someone was going to accuse Mueller of sexual harassment. And they actually researched it. And he's like, I tricked them all into doing their job of finding out whether something was true or not. And they all found out it wasn't true. And I was a laughingstock. But he's like, I wasn't really a laughingstock because that was all a trick to get everyone to come to that cooked press conference that he put on.
Yeah.
Where they were going to have the woman come out and she was the one who really had been sexually harassed. But it turned out she was just some woman that they'd paid, and now she's come out and said, oh, he was contacting me with all of these different identities and scammed me out of like $2,000. And eventually I worked out what the go was, and they asked Jacob Wall about that. He's like, oh, I can't talk about that because we've signed a non-disclosure agreement with her. And they asked her, what's this about a non-disclosure agreement? She's like, there's no non-disclosure agreement. So he does come out looking like he's lied about a lot of things, and he also says he's going to spread a lot of misinformation on Twitter. I guess someone at Twitter was like, "Oh, see ya."
No, he got mostly done for having too many accounts. So he had a lot of accounts spreading misinformation.
Yeah, he had a bunch of fake accounts, so that's what they pinged him on. But someone's read this and been like, "Yep, all right, see you later." So that's Twitter.
Yep,
I think that's all of the social networks.
Good.
We'll get to your. I know you're raring to go. I will just say that it was Oscars.
Oh, the whole Cohen thing.
Yeah, I know you're ready.
Yeah, I'm standing up for the listener.
Yeah.
I'm standing up just because my buttocks were sore.
But just before we get into that, the Oscars were just on. We've talked before about the occult symbology of the Oscars.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
But I thought I'd see if anyone was saying anything about that sort of stuff at these Oscars just this past week.
Is it just all stuff about how Lady Gaga fucked Bradley Cooper on stage, basically?
Did they?
Everyone's going nuts about it.
Right.
They sung a song together in a movie, right?
Yeah.
Where they were like a romantic couple, I'm assuming. I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
So they performed together at the Oscars, and they performed it basically in character. It was very, very, like, emotional. They were very close at the piano, and it was great performance. Everyone's just going, and his girlfriend was in the audience. Imagine how she felt.
Yeah, I've watched.
Like, it's a fucking performance, you morons.
I reckon that does have to be difficult at times for people.
Yeah, but they probably fucked in that movie.
Yeah.
Like, this is just a performance at a piano where they were, like, really close because they were, like, two characters in the song. And, like, his ex-wife's come out and be like, there's no way that he's not fucking her.
Right.
And it's like, Jesus Christ, the world's gone crazy. Just fucking relax, everyone.
Yeah. All right, let's get back to something normal.
Okay.
Well,
good take, Salty. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying after that craziness, something that makes a bit more sense.
Right.
He said the world had gone crazy.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm going to restore
no one understands what a performance is.
Yeah.
This will give you your faith in the world's sanity. Okay. Someone on Our Conspiracy was talking about how the CIA was tweeting about Black Panther, which they were. While the Black Panther bit of the Oscars was happening, the official CIA account tweeted about weird stuff about Wakanda and vibranium. They're like, now vibranium's not real, but there are several rare minerals that have similar properties.
Right.
Check out the CIA fact book.
What is the point of all that, doing that kind of a thing, if it's the CIA social media department?
The CIA does feature heavily in the film Black Panther.
Okay.
The hero of the film is a white CIA agent.
I thought the hero of the film was Black Panther.
Well,
sounds like they should have called it White CIA.
White CIA bloke.
Yeah.
Have you seen Black Panther?
No.
Oh, you should check it out. It's pretty good.
Academy Award nominations.
Yeah. Ugh. Superhero movies. Who needs them these days? There's too many.
Yeah. I'm just fucking hanging out for Hellboy to come out April 12th.
All right.
Anyway, in Black Panther...
Just got officially R-rated.
Going to be at IMAX?
I'm sure it will be.
In Black Panther, there's a CIA agent.
Yeah.
People already...
You'll be overseas, won't you?
Yeah, I'm going to try and see it maybe in Edinburgh.
Yeah, right.
I'm in Edinburgh the day it comes out.
Okay.
People already...
So did that have an IMAX?
Fucking hell. Do you want me to get this out?
Yeah, get it out.
This is a good bit as well.
Okay.
That bit was also good.
People already say that Black Panther's like CIA propaganda.
Right.
Okay.
But this guy suggested that the reason they tweeted about Black Panther was not to teach people about vibranium, but as SEO, search engine optimization.
Yeah.
So that when people searched for the CIA and Black Panther, they would find these amusing tweets, and they wouldn't find stuff about the CIA trying to bring down the Black Panthers.
Right.
The Black Panther Party, which they did.
And it's quite well documented.
It's documented. I think you might be thinking of COINTELPRO,
Maybe.
which was the FBI's scheme to bring down the Black Panthers and other leftist groups. The CIA also got involved. They called their thing Operation Chaos.
Okay.
Right. With a K?
No, just with a CH.
That's a shame. Missed opportunity there.
But still, the CIA, who are like, oh, we need to look into UFOs, but we've got to keep it a secret in case anyone finds out. And then, of course, everyone finds out and thinks it's sus. Years later, then are like, oh, maybe we shouldn't call things Operation Chaos just in case people find out.
Yeah.
The most super villainy
Yeah.
possible name for this. So Operation Chaos, they targeted the Black Panther Party, but specifically about whether there was like foreign influence, because that's their thing.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be dealing with stuff outside America.
You're not jurisdicted on American soil, cowboy. That's what I'd say if I was in a movie.
The other big group they targeted was a group called the American Deserters Committee, who were Vietnam objectors, but they weren't draft dodgers like your mate Donald Trump. They were people who'd actually got into Vietnam and then they were like, oh, I don't know about this. Right. And had fucked off to Sweden.
Okay.
They'd fucked off to Sweden, where a whole bunch of them became LaRouche people.
Right.
And we talked in our LaRouche episode the other day about the guy that had been brainwashed into becoming a Manchurian assassin. He was one of these deserter guys, and the theory was that in Sweden, with all of these deserters, that's where all the brainwashing was happening to make all of these assassins. I've started reading a book called Operation Chaos about this. It does mention that in the big meeting where LaRouche revealed that all of this had happened, he was like, now we can take questions, but they have to be written down in case anyone has got trigger words that will set off their secret assassin powers.
Wise.
But to bring it all around, a few years ago, the LaRouche people put out one of their intelligence review books called As London Launches Operation Chaos, possibly to cover up their involvement in the original Operation Chaos.
There you go.
For SEO purposes.
Yeah. Kind of like Walt Disney and Frozen.
Yes. There was also someone who gave the example of IBM and PTech.
What's PTech?
PTech was like some weird technology company that apparently had some connection to 9/11. I think it did have some Saudi backers. But later on, IBM released Pathways to Technology, which they called PTech. Anyway, Cohen, I know you're
What?
ready to go.
No, but I think everyone's across it.
Robbo was right. The bloody Russians.
So Trump's lawyer has come out, ex-lawyer now. This has just happened in the last couple of days. His statement to the Senate hearing. Was it a Senate hearing?
Some sort of...
Whatever it is.
Some sort of hearing.
Yeah, I don't know how the judicial system works. But he's come out and said...
It was a government thing, right? Because there were GOP people asking questions.
Yeah, and AOC asked some questions as well.
It must be some sort of inquiry.
So he basically came out and said that Donald Trump gave him hush money for Stormy Daniels while Donald Trump was president. While he was president, he was still involved in Moscow dealings. He knew 100% about Roger Stone and Julian Assange getting the emails, the 33,000 emails. He knew all about Donald Trump Jr.'s meeting with the Russians. So all stuff that we just kind of knew was true, but now his lawyers come out and said it. One of the funny things was he said that he instructed his lawyer, Michael Cohen, was to go to all of Donald Trump's educational institutions, wherever he went to school, and threaten them with lawsuits if they ever released his
grades.
Which is funny because he used to talk a lot about Barack Obama's low grades, and then he was too scared for his own to come out. I think as part of the evidence that he's given, he's going to end up giving all his financial records. A lot of them have been passed over as well. So taxes and all those kinds of things. I think
a lot of rubles in there, eh, Robbo?
I think it's going to be interesting. Probably Donald Trump. There's that great tweet about Donald Trump easily worming his way out of this one, which is, how's Donald Trump going to get his weasel's way out of this one? Donald Trump easily weasels his way out of this one. Well, nevertheless. Yeah, so the full 20-page thing is really interesting, so have a read of it. It's actually really, really interesting, and it's quite easy reading for a 20-page statement from a lawyer.
Yeah? You found the 20 pages easy enough to get through?
Yeah.
Good on you. I'm proud of you, mate.
What's this?
You might find it a little harder to get through some of these.
We're doing an unboxing now.
We're doing an unboxing video.
Probably more suited to film, but we'll do it on thing.
Fine. Thought I'd make some room there, Cam. You can put it on the table, mate.
All right. Oh, this is well boxed.
Do we say who this is from?
Yeah, this is from Riley. Thank you, Riley.
Thanks, Riley.
Riley has sent us some stuff, some books. I don't know if we'll say why they have all these books, but maybe if we don't say why they have all the books, it'll make Riley seem weirder. We won't say why because I didn't ask.
Why weirder than what? Weirder than you? What?
Weirder than us who have all these books already.
No. Because they have a legitimate reason to have collected all of these books.
Let him struggle with it, Robert.
No. Give me a knife.
You don't know I really want to know the legitimate reason now.
Well, I'll tell you afterwards because I didn't ask whether it was okay to say what it was. Let's just say that it's okay that they had all these cooked books.
See that stapler box up there, Robbo, on top of there, over there? No, look where I'm pointing, mate.
That's all right. I worked it out.
There's a knife up there. On top
I got
of
it.
the box.
I got it.
Got it. All right, he's got it.
There's a knife up there, mate.
No, it's all right. He's got it.
They've sent us.
Can you pass them around and we can all read one?
Yeah, there you go. There's for you.
All right, thank you. I'll give it a look.
Oh, we've got multiple copies of these. We can each have one.
Oh, wow. Why do we have multiple copies of...
This isn't his book or her book, is it?
No, this is...
by Mary W. Maxwell. This is Fraud Upon the Court, Reclaiming the Law Joyfully. That's fun.
Okay. This one is Deliverance. A Royal Commission and Pizzagate reveals society's hidden controllers.
Pizzagate?
By Mary W. Maxwell.
Oh, same person.
Oh, yeah.
These are all by Mary Maxwell.
Okay, we should stop reading the author.
I've got Prosecution for Treason, What We the People Can Do About High Crimes and Misdemeanors, which I believe will cover treason, the IMF, the commies, Mars is not Venus. Well, we knew that Mars is not Venus.
Yeah, everyone knew that.
What? Blokes come from one and women come from the other one.
Putting JFK to rest. Are coverts legal? Judicial conference? I don't know about the emphasis on the word judicial.
This one, the Deliverance one on the back says, Deliverance means deliverance from the fate we had apparently been slated for. Some combination of Brave New World, 1984 and Doctor Strangelove. Deliverance means we can start to connect to one another again and plan our future with trust. Wow. This actually says wow on the blurb.
Wow, okay. It's not a quote, it's the blurb.
This one's called...
put wow in my blurb for my book.
This is
Here's
called...
heaps of beers. Wow.
Moral Inertia, Ideas on Social Action. This one looks so much classier than all of the other ones.
It also looks older.
It's got a hardcover.
So a little bit about Mary Maxwell, while you just unpack that one.
Yeah.
She has lived most of her adult life in Australia, but ran for US Congress from New Hampshire in 2006.
Right.
There you go.
This one was printed in 1991 by the University of Colorado Press.
Right.
Or University Press of Colorado. I wonder if that's associated with the University of Colorado.
Yeah.
Does have a chapter called The Genetics of Racism.
Cool. What's next?
Oh, there's a bunch more.
This one, Inquest, Siege in Sydney. This one is Mary Maxwell of Adelaide attended the Lint Cafe inquest and the trial of Amira Droudis. Is that the guy's wife?
Maybe.
in Sydney during 2016. In this book, she gives reportage, analysis, and opinion. She is the author of 2 other books on terrorism, Marathon Bombing, Indicting the Players, and Port Arthur, Enough is Enough.
She's also got this one about terrorism, which is called Truth in Journalism.
Right.
How should journalists deal with the phenomenon known as, inverted commas, terrorism? It covers September 11. There's the one that you were just talking about in Australia, right up until France in 2015. There's a chapter, We Are All Aborigines Now.
This one is called Human Evolution, a Philosophical Anthropology, and it's another classy-looking one. It was printed in 1984, or it's from 1984, and it's cloth-bound editions of Columbia University. I feel like there might have been sort of a downward trend in the classiness of these books.
Yeah.
Jeez, there's more. One more?
There's a few more.
Hang on,
Let's pull them out. There's a few quite thin ones.
Ah.
Do you reckon the thin ones are going to be super classy, or are these going to be the bottom of the barrel?
I don't know. That one looks like it's just photocopied. Her publishers are just dropping off like flies.
There's 2 more. We've got an inquest for each of us.
Cool.
And these thin ones are all Moot Court Trial for Martin Bryant. 4 acts.
Oh, great.
Is each one of those an act, or are they all 4 acts in each one?
I think this might be the same thing. First performed March 2017 as part of the Adelaide Fringe Festival.
Oh.
Yeah, good call doing that at the Adelaide Fringe Festival, maybe not the Hobart Fringe Festival. At the time announced for show to begin, Martin pops out in front of curtain. But this is not yet Act 1. Note, italics mean accent certain syllables or slow down. Bryant. Hi, it's me. It's me, Martin. Today's December 1st. I'm 29. You may have heard that I've been at Risdon Prison for the last 7 months. I'm not allowed to speak to anyone, but I am dying to tell people that I wasn't at Port Arthur that day. Honest. The last time I set foot...
Arthur.
Sorry. In the Broad Arrow Cafe was a few years back. You have to pay admission to go in there. It's a national park. Wow.
I just want to make a note in the back of this. There's a note on costumes for anyone else that wants to put on this play. At the Adelaide 2017 Fringe production of this play, there were no costumes.
Naked people?
Except that the 3 lawyers dressed more or less up, in quotation marks. Anna's dress or jacket should be dark to hide the cord attached to the lapel mic. The actor who played Martin Bryant made a last-minute decision to wear a blonde wig. He was in T-shirt and jeans.
Right. I would say if you're trying to capture the character of Martin Bryant, a blonde wig would be your first thing you'd go get.
You want to get at least a blonde man or a blonde wig. This has got annotations on it.
Just FYI also, a note on microphones. In a small venue, no mics are needed. But if performed on stage, Martin and Anna need lapel mics. Others can use handheld mics or witness box. Our witness box was really a lectern with a mic holder built into it.
Oh, a little bit of trickery, behind-the-scenes trickery. Hey, can I make a note on anyone organising an event? Yeah. If you don't think you need a mic, this room's small enough, the acoustics are going to be good.
Get a mic.
Just get a mic.
This is book launch woes.
No, I had to do a series of bloody beer things. And I got them like, we didn't think we needed a mic. The room's quite small.
It's me, Robbo. I've got a booming voice. Famously.
Well, I was going to tell you something that I yelled out that was quite embarrassing in order to get people's attention. But I'm not going to now because you just made fun of me before I was able to make fun of myself.
Sorry, what were you going to
say? No, too late.
Robbo, please, give me something.
Listener, next time you see me, I'll tell you and don't tell Cam. I'll tell Salty later on.
You can tell me.
Nah. All right. We don't. Oh, thank you so much, Riley. By the way, this is fun. Yeah, I'm probably gonna read through some of these.
Yeah, I'm curious as to what happened between Human Evolution, Moral Inertia, and Inquest, Siege in Sydney, and the one where terrorism is in quotes.
Yeah, I think this is going to be my go-to. The Law Happiness one seemed pretty fun. Fraud upon the Court reclaiming law joyfully, because it seems such an unjoyful book. But part 1 is happiness is ellipsis the law. Ooh. Which it isn't. I don't know if Mary bloody Maxwell knows the law or not, but it's not.
Well, you know what though? I was walking down Arundel Mall in Adelaide one day, and a street performer or homelessman or someone come up to me and was like, hey, you've just walked into a smile zone and you weren't smiling. That's $1 fine. And I was like, oh, what are you talking about? And he goes, you get a sticker. And I was like, yeah, all right. Gave him a buck, got a little smiley sticker.
All right.
I was like, fuck yeah. I was doing something wrong in a zone that was fucking allocated for smiling.
Yeah.
And I clearly wasn't.
Yeah.
They've pulled me up on it. So in that little area, happiness is the law.
This guy better cut back on it though, because if he gives too many stickers out, and then other people see them start smiling, they're going to walk through the zone not smiling, and he's going to go broke.
Then his job's done.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
He might not be in it for the money.
All right. Thanks, boys. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Riley.
Bye.
Bye.